Disaster preparedness. Objectives. Begins by recognizing potential threats and developing plans to keep people safe from those threats. Describe 3 common types of disasters. List appropriate measures to take for those disasters. Identify 3 items that should be included in an emergency supply kit. Your community should prepare for potential disasters such as airborne threats, tornadoes, and fires. When a disaster happens, timeliness to get back to normal after a hurricane, tornado, fire, flood, medical emergency, airborne threats, influenza, COVID pandemic, terrorist attack. When a disaster happens, being prepared can help minimize the chaos that comes when a disaster strikes. Provide the highest level of care to your residents. Plan for the potential disasters in your area. If underground shelter is not available during a tornado, you must go to an interior room with no windows. Fire safety. Participation in fire drills are mandatory. Code Red is our code for Cold Spring Hills. RACE stands for Rescue, Remove, Alarm, Contain, Extinguish, Evacuate. PASS for the fire extinguisher stands for pull the pin, aim the hose to the base of the fire, squeeze the lever, sweep side to side. Staff and residents should practice evacuation in case of a fire emergency. Medical emergencies may include difficulty breathing, uncontrolled bleeding, chest pain. Must be handled quickly. All nurses are certified for CPR. Know where all your first aid supplies are located and easily accessible. Know the location of your AED. Have emergency numbers posted. Remain calm. Airborne threats. Harmful particles released in the air can affect the quality of your air. Prevent potentially contaminated air from getting into your body. Your building can act as a barrier between outside contaminated air and the people inside when all windows and doors are closed. A sealed room can create a temporary barrier. An interior room should be used, break room or conference room with no windows. Airborne threats are potential disasters. Influenza pandemic. A pandemic is a global disease outbreak. Annual flu shot will protect you from most types of flu. If a pandemic occurs, it can be prolonged and widespread that could require temporary changes in many areas of society. Hand washing is essential. Pandemics are potential disasters. Stay or go. Depending on your circumstances and the nature of the disaster, the first decision after an incident occurs is whether to shelter in place or to evacuate. Monitor TV and radio news for information or official instructions as they become available. Follow directions. Evacuation plan. Evacuating and accounting for employees, residents, visitors quickly and effectively. Know where you are supposed to go. Shelter in place. May be situations when it's best to stay where you are to avoid any uncertainty outside. There may be an incident when specifically how and where you take shelter is a matter of survival. If local authorities believe the outside air is badly contaminated with a chemical, you should not evacuate residents. Emergency supplies, basic survival, water, food, clean air, and warmth. 1 week supply of non-perishable food. Flashlights and extra batteries, weather radio, battery powered, first aid kit, whistle, dust or filter masks, N95, moist towelettes for sanitation, wrench or pliers to turn off utilities, can opener for food, plastic sheeting and duct tape for sealing rooms, garbage bags and ties for personal sanitation. Emergency supplies. Having first aid supplies in stock and easily accessible will help you be better prepared during an emergency. If some have unique medical considerations that may require special care during an emergency, it is best to make them known before an actual emergency.